Hello and welcome back to my channel. I know, very unusual, I'm wearing makeup and it is a tutorial for this exact makeup, a bridal one. I feel so good. Whenever I want to look pretty, I always come back to this makeup, and I always come back to this amazing palette. If there is one palette that I do recommend to invest in, it is this one. If you would like to know how to get this affordable / drugstore makeup look apart from the palette, just keep on watching. What did you think of the intro? Do you like seeing me at the very beginning with the finished makeup? Let me know down in the comments below, as always. For today's makeup, I am bringing it back. I am using a palette. Every time I use it, it just brings a smile to my face. It is the Too Faced Chocolate Bar. This is the original. This, in my opinion, is the perfect neutrals palette. It's the easiest palette to work with on the eyes, and it just works every single time. I already did my brows off camera. I personally really like concealer as a primer. I don't have oily lids. If you do, you might want to use something like MAC Paint Pot. I'm going to take salted caramel. Am I blinding you with this? I probably am, aren't I? I'm going to take salted caramel on a very fluffy brush, and I'm putting salted caramel, which is my all-time favourite shade. If I ever make a palette, this will be the shade I will want in there. Putting salted caramel in my crease, and I'm blending it. Like, it took me 30 seconds, not even that, to blend this in. I love this palette. I forget that it's there, I move on to other things, but this is the palette that I always come back to. I'm going to take 203 and the shade called Semi-Sweet. This is a lot darker. I would consider this to be like a neutral brown. It's not too warm, it's not too cool. I've only put the shadow on one side of my brush because I will be using this brush almost as if it's a flat brush. So I'm putting Semi-Sweet on the outer third of my eye, winging it out, and putting the rest into my crease. And now, because 203 is a tapered brush, I can use it to blend Semi-Sweet into salted caramel. My vein is peeking through today. Look at all my veins, like near my eyes. Like, I'm taking my fluffy brush and just blending the edge. For now, I'm going to move on to my shimmer, and once that's on, I will decide how dark I want to take this makeup look. I'm going to take Marzipan, which is my second favourite shade of all time, and I'm going to foil it. Because this palette is £39, I believe, I wanted to keep everything else drugstore or affordable. So today I'm going to foil my shadow with the Be Hydrated, which is Superdrug's own brand, hyaluronic acid facial spritz. This is brilliant to foil your shadows with. I'm going to, oh my god, oh, look at it. It's like a perfect warm gold. And I'm essentially cutting my crease with this shimmer shade. I took it on about 2/3 of my eye. Oh, this is such a classic. I'm now going to go back to my 203 and take Semi-Sweet once again, this time on the tip of my brush, topping off the excess, and I'm going to blend my shimmer. This is such an easy makeup look as well. I'm sure every single one of you will be able to achieve something like this. I'm just taking a little bit of Semi-Sweet to re-intensify my outer third, making sure it's blended. I do want to make it a little bit more dark. This is my third favourite shade. No, it's not, but I do really like this. Triple Fudge, the corner shade here, is like such a dark brown, but it's still a brown. Espresso brown, almost black, amazing shade. And I'm taking it on a thick angled brush, and I'm essentially going to line my outer corner, giving myself a wing, but I do want to blend this in. 203, and I'm blending. I'm going to reapply it and blend again. Reapply it and blend. The reason why I do it like this is that I have found that it gives me a better blend. If I was to pack on the shadow and try and blend it, it would just take a lot more effort than doing it like this. I took some semi-sweet once more, just to give it a final blend. To highlight my inner corner and my brow bone, I'm taking Champagne Truffle. This is stunning when it's foiled. I even need to like tap it in so it's blended in. The reason why I love this spray for foiling, it's not too oily and it dries quite fast, because the thing I hate the most is when you do a cut crease and it like transfers or it creases because it's too wet. This is perfect. Oh my goodness, look at it. Thoughts, amazeballs. Let me do the other eye off camera and I will be right back. I could just wear this every single day for the rest of my life. Let's move on to the face. If you are getting married, if you are for some reason watching my video and drawing inspiration, make sure you don't experiment with new makeup. Trust what you know, wear your regular foundation, or if you do need a recommendation for a foundation that you should wear on your wedding day. If you have oily skin or like a normal skin, dry skin not so much, double wear lasts a very long time and it doesn't have SPF, so it will look very good in pictures. Since this is drugstore, I'm using Catrice's Made to Stay Makeup 24-hour foundation. Unfortunately, this is no longer available, I've been told. This is one of my favourite foundations. It matches me perfectly. For my concealer today, I am using a classic Collection Lasting Perfection, the same concealer I used to prime my lids with. I love this stuff. This is just like my all-time favourite concealer. Why is there a helicopter? Oh my god, I feel so pretty. That's why I love makeup. It just makes you, like, it makes me so happy. I've decided to include a testing video in this video. I'm going to put to the test the Revolution baking powder. Obviously, I'm not going to bake. I got the translucent baking powder. I'm going to test a new product. You shouldn't be doing that on your wedding day. I'm just not actually going to a wedding. Even if this is bad, it's not a disaster. I'm not going anywhere. It did the job, but it's not as smooth as I'd want it to be. I mean, it worked. I'll do a flash test later on. Doesn't feel too heavy and it looks nice and set. Another product that came out with that whole baking and blotting line, it's essentially a pressed powder. This one is in translucent and I'm going to use it to set the rest of my face. You very rarely see me do this, but I guess for your wedding day you do want to set your foundation. This is not a regular day, you will be taking a lot of pictures and you do want to look flawless. I'm going to take a blush brush from Real Techniques and dip it in my blotting powder. Quite a lot of kickback. And I'm going to set my face. Ooh, it made my skin look very, very nice. I really like that powder. I'm not the one for like pressed powders or powders in general. I know it's very unusual for a person with oily skin not to like powders, but I don't. I actually prefer the pressed powder version over the loose powder. And another product that I will be testing out today is the Revolution Pro 4K bronzer palette. This is the cool version. It looks like this. I'm terrified because it smells like a shoe factory and it's very cool toned, very dark. Ooh, don't do this on your wedding day. Like, why would you want to test a product on your wedding day? Like, really? What? It looked very cool. Why does this look orange? I'm so confused right now. I took the first shade because it seemed the lightest out of the four. Why is this so warm? I mean, I like it, but it's more of a bronzer. I thought it was going to be a contour shade. I'm only dabbing my brush once, by the way. These are very pigmented, but they do blend out quite nicely. I like that. I didn't think I was going to like it that much. I'm going to take a setting brush from Nail Techniques, dab it into that first shade, and I do want to slightly contour my nose with this. So I do often take my bronzer, slightly contour my nose with it. I feel like a bronze goddess right now. I like it. I like it a lot. For my highlighter today, I will be using Kiko Milano Water Shadow in 208. It is my all-time favourite highlighter. And to make it beaming out of my face intense, I'm taking it with a brush. That's a sponge. I'm using a sponge and apply on the highest points of my face. This just makes it like another level kind of blinding. This is probably even a little bit too intense for wedding day. I'm taking 203, dipping into semi-sweet, tapping off the excess, and starting from my outer corner, I'm putting it only halfway into the bottom lower lash line. I'll make sure the outer edge joins the top. I'm now going to take that angled brush and triple fudge, and I want to smoke it out. So you can take your 203 and use it as a blending brush, my super fluffy brush, and a smidge of salted caramel, and starting from the inner corner I'm blending everything on the bottom lid. And because I love this marzipan shade, I'm going to take a little bit to put on the inner third of my lower lash as well. For my mascara, I'm using L'Oreal Lash Paradise. I know they have I've been talking for so long that I actually wasn't recording. I'm going to stick my lashes on. I've got very natural halves that I want to stick on, and if there is ever a time you want to learn sticking your falsies from underneath, your wedding day is the day, because that technique makes them very comfortable to wear and they last a very long time. If you stick your lashes, especially if it's like a one band of lash, when you stick them on top, your inner corner might pop up and it will just simply annoy you all day. With this technique, it doesn't happen, and I will show you how to do that. So my glue is almost dry, and I take my mirror. You want it like almost underneath your chin, and you want to open your eyes as much as you can and stick the lash as close to the waterline as possible. Don't put it on your waterline because that will hurt. Put it on your lashes, stick it to your lashes, but as close to the waterline as possible. You can always pinch the falsies with your natural lashes with your hands. Ta-da! It literally took me 15 seconds to stick that lash on. I mean, this technique is just perfect. For my lips, I'm going to be using a liner. This one is from Barry M, and unfortunately the Barry M liners do not have names. It's like a very warm nude, and I'm going to fill my lips with this. So here it is, my somewhat affordable bridal makeup. With regards to the new things, I definitely have to play with the bronzer palette from Revolution Pro a little bit more. The baking powder, I don't know. Let me do the flashback test. No flashback. My favourite out of the things that I tested out today is definitely the bacon blot powder. It made my skin really, really smooth. It mattified but without looking too dry. I hope you have enjoyed this bridal look. If you are getting married, congratulations. I hope you have enjoyed that. If you did, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.